What's up guys, we're back again with another Gript media article. This one is Ben Scallon reporting Ireland's comically bad turf climb down. So obviously this is in regards to last year where they tried to pass a banning of turf, which everybody pretty much disagreed with in the whole world. And as a man who frequents the bog himself every single year since I was like 12, I'll tell you guys that turf is actually amazing. It's amazing for the environment. It actually helps regrow different things, and it's also already been there for millions of years, so it's an amazing way to provide fuel for your home, everything like that, guys, right? So I obviously live in the West. I know that Ben is from Dublin, probably somewhere around the Dublin area, so obviously a lot less turf areas and a lot less heating with turf going on in general. But if you live outside of Dublin, you guys, turf is a huge funnel of fuel that people use. So this one was crazy, guys. I'd love to hear about what his take on this was. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys all think as well. Check out my Patreon for loads more videos there. And yeah, let's see what he has to say about turf, guys.
The government, having been utterly defeated on the turf ban, are now maintaining absurd whiffs of the policy simply to save face and prevent a green mutiny. This is Ben Scallon and you're watching Gript Media. Before we start the video, if you want to support Gript and our work, make sure to click like, subscribe and comment, even if you have absolutely nothing to say.
Yeah, I always say that, guys. Go over to Gript Media, and check out their whole platform. Go subscribe to their YouTube, their Instagram, all that good stuff, guys. Let's go.
The government's attempted turf ban will no doubt go down as one of the biggest political L's in Irish history, up there with the 1982 Fine Gael tax on children's shoes. And having metaphorically stepped in dog waste, the government now has to walk around awkwardly dragging their feet to scrape off any residue of the policy. As reported by RTE, the regulations, which are set to be signed into law in the coming days, will allow people with turf cutting rights to sell that turf or to gift it to others.
So that's like somebody in my family does that, guys. They cut it and then we go collect it every year, twice a year actually, because it's really good. Yeah, people use turf for years, guys. And the bog is good crack, but the bog, guys, is always roasting hot. Whenever we go down there, it's like way hotter than normal, and you feel like dying. It's savage hard work. So if anyone that's experienced bog labor, then tell me about it, guys. It's so tough, man. It's such tough work, bro.
However, turf sales cannot be advertised and it cannot be sold in retail settings.
What?
So they've conceded basically everything. You can cut turf, you can sell turf, you can give turf as a gift, but shops can't sell it and you can't advertise it, which would also include social media posts, by the way. Now ask yourself this. What in the name of Eamon Ryan's salad box does this have to do with climate change? The whole point of the policy was supposedly to stop carbon emissions and save the earth, because turf, we were told, was dangerous contraband that was...
Yeah, that's not true, guys. We've all known this, guys. Obviously, I've listened to a lot of different political leaders on carbon, and carbon's what makes up the world, guys. Alright, there's some deadly forms of carbon monoxide, but carbon dioxide is actually good for the world, right? So people get that confused.
Killing the planet. It might as well be radioactive waste or something. It was so toxic and evil. That was the narrative. So if we're now letting people cut, burn and sell it, then what exactly is the point of banning ads? What's that supposed to achieve? If turf is as bad for the environment as they claim, then this is as stupid as saying you can buy, sell and use heroin, but you can't post about it online. It's ludicrous in the extreme. So why would the government do it? Well, the answer is they've painted themselves into a corner where they feel they need the Greens to maintain stability and keep the wolf of Sinn Féin at bay.
So they just want to kind of keep the Greens in party so that Sinn Féin and other parties don't get elected, right? And they obviously have to create new laws and create new things to see like they're, earning their wages, right? To see like they're actually, worthy of their wages in the doll, basically.
And so this watered down policy is essentially to placate their smaller coalition partner. But in trying to keep Eamon Ryan happy, they've shot themselves in the foot severely with the general public. It's also probably to save face and embarrassment and make the new policy seem like a slight course correction rather than a pathetic retreat. But to be frank, you didn't have to have a genie or a crystal ball to predict this outcome. All you'd want to have is a modicum of common sense, which is a resource which apparently our leaders have lost somewhere in the supply chain. Of course, if you asked the government official for the rationale for banning turf initially, they'd tell you it was for the greater good of the planet and that we're in a climate crisis, yada yada, all the greatest hits that we've heard from them over the past few years.
Well, yeah, all that stuff is lies, guys. They said before it was like global warming when I was a kid. Now it's climate change. 30 years ago, they said it was global cooling. You know, it's just, it changes with the wind, right? Because the weather is unpredictable. You can't really predict what way the weather's going to spin, right? The world is an unpredictable place.
And that's all well and good if you're a green TD, an environmental activist, or an NGO worker with money to blow. But that's just not how Middle Ireland sees it, particularly rural people who rely on turf.
Yeah.
With home heating bills and the cost of living going up like a rocket, average punters across Ireland already felt like they were being driven to the brink financially. And then they turn on the news to find out not only is the government not helping them in this, but politicians are actually conspiring to remove existing fuel sources that are readily available.
Ridiculous.
And that's not even to
Let me say something. If I ever got into power, I would create less laws. I would get rid of most laws. Laws like this, guys, is tax. So no, guys, we're getting rid of all this stuff, right? Impose less laws on the people. Have more freedoms and less laws. This is crazy, guys. You ever see people get rid of laws in the government? No, because they just want to keep bringing in more and more laws until basically you can't do anything. I read before that the average Irish person commits like 5, bad crimes a day, like, state crimes a day without even knowing, like speeding and all this type of stuff. So it's crazy. Everyone's just guilty, by default.
Mentioned the carbon tax increase a few months back. People essentially feel like they went crawling on their hands and knees to their elected representatives for help in a moment of crisis, and instead of help, they received a swift kick in the stones for their trouble. And in fairness, that's not far off what actually happened. And by the way, if you feel like these videos give you a voice and articulate views that you don't hear elsewhere in the media, please consider signing up for a monthly donation of €5 or €10 a month, whatever you can afford, to help us keep doing what we do. But regardless, the point is, all of this is important because policies like this have a measurable impact on public opinion, as a recent Irish Times poll has shown. The government's support is after making a sharper nosedive than a Japanese zero in World War II, setting at the coalition's lowest result ever. They're currently about as welcome as a fart in a phone box in most parts of Ireland. Obviously, you can't attribute that solely to the turf issue, that would be ridiculous, but it absolutely contributes to the situation and is emblematic of a larger malaise felt by the voting public at large.
Hey guys, the Green Party is terrible. I remember like last week, I was out in town pretty late at night, probably like 6, 7 o'clock, and I was just walking around town, obviously in my city, which is Galway, right? And obviously I go to the city quite a bit. I was just meeting friends, whatever. But I just looked in and there was a Green Party candidate. I can't even remember who it was. And it was actually pretty full, the place, but everyone was like 150 years old. Everybody was over at least 80 years old. I couldn't believe it. There was like 20 people in this Green Party electorate, little shop on the corner there in Woodkey. And it had like 20 people in it. And I was like, wow, who's in it? So I looked in. There was like 20, 80-year-olds. So I don't know, guys. Nobody that I know would ever vote for the Green Party ever.
Big LTDs even believed that this issue could bring down the government, it was so serious. Responding to the recent poll results, the Taoiseach said that he wouldn't let the results change the government's policy by having any, quote, knee-jerk reactions to the figures. So, in other words, we're staying the course on our horrendously unpopular agenda. But a knee-jerk reaction is what you do when something happens suddenly. There's been nothing sudden about this slow-motion car crash. Poll after poll has shown the same trajectory for months. This would be like saying you shouldn't have a knee-jerk reaction to being slowly flattened in a hydraulic press. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. The Greens, it seems, may successfully do what Sinn Féin never managed to: kill Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil stone dead. Please like and share this video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider signing up for a monthly donation.
Hey guys, go to Gript Media, like I said, sign up for a donation, all that good stuff, guys. Subscribe to their channel. But yeah, crazy stuff, guys. I really, I don't even know anyone that's ever voted for the Green Party. I've never heard of one person ever in my life that has voted for the Green Party. Nobody has voted for them ever, guys. So yeah, let me know what you all think. I love you guys all. Stay free. I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.